Hey guys, so I've put some thought into it and I've decided to make a submission to the International Olympic Commission. I believe that the Binding of Isaac should be the next Olympic sport. Because they keep adding new sports. There's a new one every year. They added skateboarding this year. Previous year they did underwater hockey. Before that they had bicycle quidditch, was an Olympic sport for the first time. Doing Rubik's Cubes in space was a recent addition. One of the more expensive of the Olympic sports. But I'm looking forward to low gravity sports. Like people talk a lot about like different like flavors and variations of the Olympics that they could do. Like I like the idea of a cybernetic Olympics where, you know, people can just use robot legs if they want. Like who would not want to watch the 100-meter sprint where everyone can just go along like cyborgs on crack. Like they just put all the drugs in as well. Like there's been so many revelations in like cycling and other sports about like performance enhancing drugs being used. You know, I for one would like to see a sort of an honest Olympics or an honest competition where it's like, you know what, in this competition everyone's allowed to use whatever drugs they want. Which I suppose would realistically mean that whichever country is richest and like invests the most money into like doping programs would be the winning country, which some say is what the system is currently. I have heard it said that like already, that's a very good item, Birthright, but I don't think we're gonna have the cash for it, unfortunately. That is painful. Why do you tease me so, Edmund McMillan? Oh, well, I could use Justice. Justice might help. That gives us a bomb, and we can use the bomb on the shopkeeper and the donation machine, which might give us some cashola. 3 pennies won't cut it. We probably won't get the moolah, alas. But like with regards to Olympics, like I think like a cheating Olympics, like all drugs allowed Olympics would be great. And not just drugs, like I want all kinds of cheating to be permitted. I want to see like sabotage being allowed at the Olympics. Ooh, we just need one more penny, then we can get Birthright. I don't actually know what Birthright does for the blue baby. Because Birthright is a really interesting new item in Repentance that it has a different effect for every character. And usually it buffs them in a way that like makes up for their like biggest sort of weakness as a character. So I'm excited to find out what is Blue Baby's Birthright. Stronger Spirit. Can someone in the chat tell me what Birthright does for Blue Baby? Because I don't know what Stronger Spirit means, but I'm excited. So, like, I think that I would love to see sabotage being allowed in the Olympics. Like you know, like those shitty, like, 80s movies where you've got to, like, win the ski race to save the resort, and there's all sorts of hijinks going on. I want to see more hijinks at the Olympics. I want the Olympics to turn into the trashiest reality TV show possible. I want to have, like, those confessional monologues in between all of the events where, like, the athletes are discussing, like, you know, all the drama and the way they hate each other and how determined they are to win at any cost. I think that would... I just want to see the Olympics go full trash fire. That's what I want to see. So I want to allow sabotage. I want to allow drugs. I want to allow cybernetics. And I want to see more space events. Like, if Jeff Bezos can fly his dick to space for his own entertainment, then I think there should be a space-based Olympics with all the low-gravity events. Like, can you imagine pole vaulting in low gravity? Can you imagine pole vaulting on the moon? You would leave orbit. Like, if you... do you think an Olympic pole vaulter, if they pole vaulted on the moon, do you think they could leave the moon's gravity? Do you think you could pole vault from the moon to Earth? And die burning up in the atmosphere, plummeting to Earth. That would be the coolest way to die. If I was 99,999 years old and I had terminal scurvy of the armpits, I would elect just to do the heroic thing and to attempt pole vaulting from the moon to the Earth. I think that would be spectacular viewing. I mean, I'm not sure where you'd put the cameras. I suppose the cameras would have to be on me as I'm performing the pole vault. The punching item, I've had that before. I'm not, like, I don't know if it's all that good. And it scales off luck, doesn't it? Doesn't this item scale off luck? It's not a bad item, but, like, I'm pretty tempted to get the random one, because that could be better. Like, I know the punching one's alright. Are we going safe, or are we... Alright, YOLO. I want a rainbow baby. It's probably worse, but I don't know. We YOLO'd it, and sometimes when you YOLO, you get a Rolo. And sometimes when you YOLO, you get a... Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, like Cybernetic Olympics, Drug Olympics, Space Olympics, Magic Olympics. I want to see... Like, one of the fun things that has been done many times is, like, people who claim to have psychic powers or, like, you know, like, psychokinetic, telepathonetic, magihesic abilities. Sometimes, like, such people subject themselves to scrutiny and to testing, you know? Like, there's some, like, martial artists who claim to be able to create force fields to defend themselves from attacks, and there are some hilarious YouTube videos of some of these martial artists just getting domed by by people. Not in like a malicious way, but in a, you know, let's subject your claims to testing way. Maybe a little bit of malice. And that's the thing, like, you want to be able to, you know, test and scrutinize people, but you don't want to be mean, you know? Because sometimes people who make those claims are a bit, you know, unhinged, you know, a bit not connected with reality, and you don't want to be mocking people in a mean way. That said, some of those videos are very funny. I think this blue spore thing is doing a lot of work for me. I still don't really understand exactly how it works, but it seems to be helping with the damage. I'm pretty sure I had a point about the Olympics. I sort of forgot what it was. I mean, I think that... man, we've got quite a lot of soul hearts, which I'm enjoying. What does that item do? I don't think I've had that item, but I don't really want to spend 3 soul hearts on it. That afraid ghost thing. Maybe it's great. I'm not really sure. Alright. Mikey Forrester in the live chat suggests that in an Olympics where anyone can cheat in any way that they want, it would just end up being like the buffest person would just beat up all the other competitors. I mean, yeah, there is that risk. There is the risk that, like, every event just devolves into MMA. Might as well take a soul heart. But I mean, you know, it might not just be about strength. It might also be about... Oh, what's going on? Oh, one of those fellas. Try and sneak up on me while I wasn't looking, huh? Try and poke at my soft underbelly, Bilbo? Well, you get some tears to the face. That might not sound tough, but it is, believe me. It might be that the fast people could outrun the buff people. Oh, we need a key. Alas, alack. Alright, let's move on. And you know, it might be that the wily competitors might be able to outsmart the buff ones, you know? I think it would... There'll just be a lot of variation. Because the thing about the Olympics is that there's very rarely a surprise. Like, when the sprinters are doing their sprinting, you can have fairly high confidence levels that what you're going to see is a dozen people sprinting in a straight line. Very rarely is someone going to deviate from their path. Very rarely is someone going to do a somersault. Very rarely is someone going to start dabbing mid-sprinting. And that's what I want to see in my Olympics. Like, one of the more famous Olympic escapades was, you know, that one time that ice skate racing guy was losing the race, and then all of the other competitors who were ahead of him in the ice skating race fell over, and so the guy at the back won the gold purely through the incompetence of his fellows. And I think the fact that that is such a well-remembered episode in Olympic history goes to show how dull many Olympic events are. Like, I want to see more of that stuff. I want to see constant, like, twists and shocks and betrayals and surprises. That's what I want from my Olympics. I want Olympics to be like Game of Thrones. Like, what's the Red Wedding of the Olympics? Probably something horrible. That's what I want. So yeah, low gravity, space, criminal, and more events. And that's why, back to my original point, that's why I'm submitting the Binding of Isaac to be a Olympic event. So we could pick up the Taurus, which is like the speed is building thing. It's really good if you've got orbitals, like the Sacrificial Dagger or something, but we don't have any of those things, so we're going to YOLO again, get a random one. Betrayal, turn your enemy. I don't think that's a very good item. We haven't got any very good items. Oh, we do have Birthright. Can someone look up what Birthright does for Blue Baby? I don't see... someone in the live chat, it'd be great if someone could let me know what Birthright does for Blue Baby. Because I know it's an amazing item for a lot of characters, but I don't know what it does for Blue Baby. It's probably something great. Just don't know what it is. I think it said Soul Power, so it's probably something to do with Soul Hearts. And we do have a lot of Soul Hearts going on, so I would hope that it's something neat. Something real neato. I wish Nito was back in vogue. Like Raven. Alright, so we could spend, I don't know, like 2 bombs to get that item. Ooh, there's a Tinted Rock here. Soul Heart. Does Birthright make Soul Heart spawn more? Is that what Birthright does for Blue Baby? It just spawns more... Does it like replace Red Hearts with Soul Hearts or something? Oh my god. Get out of there. Thank you. Because I feel like we've gotten a lot of Soul Hearts since we got Birthright, and I wonder if that's a coincidence. Darcy in the live chat says that HP ups give 2 Soul Hearts instead of 1. That's awesome. Thanks. Thanks for looking that up. Yeah, that is helpful. And because we have gotten a few health ups, and yeah, I didn't notice, but yeah, they were giving us double hearts. So that is grouse. Okay, we will also pop that over there. Do we want Ringworm? Probably not, right? Actually, maybe we do. I always sort of go back and forth. Well, appropriately enough, I go back and forth on these items, because the items themselves are going back and forth. Let's just go fight. I kind of like this worm. I enjoy this worm. Because I think it ultimately makes it easier to hit things. Like, ooh, okay, we're going the swirly. And since we're going counterclockwise, we know we're in the northern hemisphere whenever the toilet bowl swirls in that direction, as we all learned from The Simpsons. Why did I not take damage from that fart? Am I immune to farts? I've always wanted to be immune to farts. You wouldn't believe how many situations in my life when I've wished I've been immune to farts. More often than you'd think, I guarantee it. Okay, oh shit, we need bombs, don't we? We need bombs if we're going to get into the minecart dimension. So, I'd better save up bombs from now on. I don't... Oh, we need to get the bloody knife piece as well, don't we? Because what I'd like to do is beat the Witness in the corpse, which is not an easy thing to do with this particular character, what with having no health and having to go through a bullet hell thing. But I think it'll be okay. We basically, I mean, I'm kind of hoping on getting some kind of overpowered Tears item. Because so far the items have been fairly mediocre. Like, I'm enjoying the Spore Tears thing. I think that's working well. And the Birthright thing is great. I want to get a whole bunch of health ups now if possible. But this run could go any direction at this point, I would say. Alright, let's roll on. But with regards to the Olympics... Oh, we can go straight to the minecarts now. With regards to the Olympics... I want to see cybernetics, I want to see low gravity, I want to see cheating. I want to see like more mixed events as well. Like you've probably heard of chess boxing, which is where people play like a round of boxing against each other. Then they sit down and they do a few moves of chess, and then they go back to boxing, and they just alternate between those two events, which is obviously just one of the coolest things that any two people can do. I think that's how elections should be resolved. Like, let's end this farce of democracy and instead embrace the meritocracy of people just boxing and chessing their way to power. I could respect a dictator who at least is really good at boxing and chess. No, that's a pretty bad idea, isn't it? Those challenge rooms are kind of dangerous when you're playing as... Oh, actually, I keep thinking that I'm playing as the Lost. And I think since we're now playing as Blue Baby, it's like... You know when, like, you know when the classic anime move and you wear, like, weights on your body to, like, make your body feel heavier and to, like, train your body to be stronger, but then you drop the weights. Like, I think that's a famous scene in, like, Naruto or something, where the guy drops the really heavy weights and then he's, like, super fast because he was carrying those weights to train himself. Since we've been playing the Lost a bit, now that we're playing as a character that actually has health, I'm feeling like it's kind of easy now. I mean, I know it's too soon to say it's easy, but I feel like I've dropped the weights. Oh shit, what happens now? A bunch of ghosts about to spawn? No, okay. I'm really paranoid about those ghosts, man. Alright. So I've just done the intense training of playing as the Lost, and now anything is a breeze. Fuck. Will be until the witness, anyway. So, you know, so chess boxing combines chess and boxing. Ooh, do we dare get the dunce cap? I think it's not a good item, but, like, it's pretty memey, so we're gonna take it. And, like, combined with the ringworm, I think that it'll be pretty good. So the dunce cap, instead of firing in a straight line, we fire diagonally in two directions at once. So it does double our tier output, which is a good thing. But it also makes it a lot harder to aim. Or at least it's sort of different to aim. Yeah, we'll get some money. Where's the shop? Oh, it's a stock penny. Those are so annoying. Tears down, that sucks. Alright, we're using a last bomb. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the bum. I would like my bum to be unbitten today, Edmund McMillan. You know who I'm talking about. So if we can combine boxing and chess, I think we should consider combining table tennis and cryptic crosswords. I want to combine Sudoku and fencing. I think that would be cool. I think we should combine Pickup 52 with the marathon. I think we should combine rock climbing with Zombinis, classic educational game. We could combine Dota with the long jump, shot put with Fortnite, you know, for the kids. Is Fortnite still relevant? I think the death of Fortnite was the death of me knowing what the kids are up to. Like, I feel like I kept up for a little while, but after Fortnite, I mean, even before Fortnite, I never played Fortnite. It looked very colourful, and it looked like it made a lot of children dance, and I suppose that's a good thing. You know, I'm skeptical of the microtransactions, though. Because the only microtransactions that anyone should be making is donations to the Alt Shift X Games live stream. That's the only acceptable kind. No. It's just the loot crates, you know. I'm skeptical of the loot crates. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. I don't like this boss that we're coming up on, the Great Gideon, I believe it will be. Because they're like, oh no, it's these guys. It's not always Great Gideon. These guys I quite like as a boss design. It's nice how it sort of mixes up the formula to have this sort of two-step approach needed. Because these guys are invulnerable, until you bomb them. So now that that guy's bombed, well, I don't mean to assume their gender. Might be a female rockworm. Once you've bombed them, then they are vulnerable to attack. Like so. And I can imagine a Olympic of... Ooh, nice. Damage up. That is good. And an angel room. Don't mind if I do. I don't know what that is. I think it might be something a bit crazy. Genesis. Yeah. I'm pretty sure what this does is that when you use it, it, like, resets your whole game, takes away all your items, gives you new items, and then takes you to the start of the game again. But I'm actually going to, like, quickly, like, look up what this does. Because I'm pretty sure if we use it, we won't be able to fight the witness in the corpse. So, yeah, So where does it put you? It puts you in a bedroom, and then and then you go into the beam of light. Where does it put you afterwards? I'm pretty sure we don't want this, and I don't want to not use it because it could be a really powerful item. It teleports you to a unique bedroom. It gives you a bunch of items. The wiki doesn't say where you go afterwards. Does it just put you back to where you came from? Alright, fuck it. We'll just use it. Why not? Dukansky suggests a different combined... let's see what happens. So what this means, so all of our items were taken away, and now we get choices of new items to replace our old items. And then I'm not sure where it puts us after that. So we're on an adventure together. Strictly speaking, this was probably a bad idea because... we had pretty good items already. But that's alright. Slow effect. Oh, we lost Birthright as well. That was a terrible decision to use Genesis. But I want to see what happens. Placenta's useless, but it's better than breakfast, I guess. Chalky Milk is alright. I think the Fly is better. Oh, Bible is good. Black Candle is better. That got the Cat of Nine Tails. I think that gives us damage. Be nice to have Tears up. Shot speed is good as well, though. Ooh, this is a tough one. Ooh, another fly item. Ooh, but health up. Health up would be nice, but 2 fly items is cool. Again, I think we're taking swag over stats at this point. Tears up, that is a good idea. Curse of the Thing is terrible. Monstro is pretty useless. We'll take Harlequin Baby. Ooh. I believe that both Jesus Juice and Meat give damage and health. Or does Jesus Juice give damage and something else? I would kind of like some range, but I think that the damage and the health has got to be the best choice here. Alright, so that changed things up. We have like a less wacky build now, I would say, but probably better in terms of stats, and certainly more of a close combat sort of a build with all these flies. So yeah, that's interesting. And let's find out where it takes us. So, Mikey in the live chat says that it just takes you to the next floor, and it looks like Mikey is correct. So yeah, I thought that it teleported you to like the end of the game or something, but I don't know. Alright. So we can still get the knife piece, we can still fight the witness in the corpse. We all Gucci. But we were discussing combined sports to be put into the Olympics, like chess boxing. Dukansky in the live chat suggests Uno and open heart surgery, which I think is a stellar idea. To make it more stellar, you could do it in space. Because I really think this Space Olympics concept has legs. Legs in every direction, I would think. I imagine that like once we start doing stuff in space, like zero gravity is going to offer a whole lot of like cinematographical. Is that a word? Cinematographical, or cinematographical? Cinematography. I think that will really be opened up by zero gravity, because zero gravity would allow for all sorts of like camera angles that would normally be impossible. But I think that also like the human brain would really struggle to like understand like a shifting, like, you know, a world where there's no up and there's no down. I think would be very confusing to a brain that didn't grow up with it. I mean, that's what's really cool about the books and the TV show The Expanse, which is all about like this cultural and biological and cognitive difference that exists between people who grew up in space and people who did not. Because people who grew up in low gravity a lot of the time have a very different perspective, literally, on the world. I think that would make sense with movies as well. We should take PhD because we're holding a tears down pill, and once we pick up the PhD, it'll turn into a tears up pill, just like so. Lovely, lovely. Something's wrong, not so exciting. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this build. I think that Genesis, like, was still probably a bad idea to wipe our existing build, but this build is pretty good too. This build might be better than what we had before. I'm not sure if the stats are the same, but I feel like the DPS is probably better. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. We don't have as much health as we had before, and having Birthright was awesome, so yeah, strictly speaking, it was probably a bad move to get rid of Birthright. But we can just buy some health here, so not all is in vain. And we might as well blow up the shopkeeper in the hopes of getting another angel room. We'll get a little secret room while we're at it. A little twofer. Why don't we blow up this guy and get some more cash? Should we do that? Probably a bad idea, but we'll do it. Might get... Oh, okay. That can happen. I think that's new to Repentance. I'm pretty sure blowing up a dead shopkeeper would not spawn... Oh, really? Would not spawn a greed mini boss, but we got a bunch of money out of it, so we are feeling fresh and filled to the gills with cash. Flush. That's what I was reaching for. I was reaching for flush, and I grabbed a fish analogy. You wouldn't believe how often that happens to me. I never am looking for the seafood analogies, but somehow the seafood analogies always find me. We're taking a bit of damage. We shouldn't be taking this much damage, but that's okay. I would love to get some more health. I would love to get some like health up pills or something. That'd be swell. But if wishes were fishes, see the seafood analogy again. I don't know why. We just keep going submarine. We're real amphibious with the metaphors tonight. Alright. So, we've unlocked the minecart minigame thing, so we'll be able to get the second knife piece. I wish these fly orbitals would block projectiles. That would be cool. But if wishes were fishes, I'd have an aquarium. Okay. We could fight the boss before we go to the minecart thing. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Bajaki says, are you still playing Dark Souls? Yeah, I will do another Dark Souls episode at some point. Enjoying playing Isaac as well, but we will continue the Dark Souls. Because I am set on the completely unrealistic goal of completing Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 and Bloodborne before Elden Ring. Probably impossible, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I've said it before, but I love the spooky tone shift that happens when you enter this area. The music goes all quiet and ominous. We lose all of our items' effects, which is terrifying. So we are stripped of our power. We are made vulnerable and afraid. And we're about to steal a knife from Mother. Alright. People in the live chat. Zizu asks in the live chat, what did Birthright do? So, thanks to another person in the live chat, we figured out that Birthright for Blue Baby makes health ups give you 2 soul hearts instead of 1 soul heart, which is pretty grouse for Blue Baby. And we did benefit from it for a while, but then we used Genesis, which took away Birthright and took away the health that we got from Birthright. So it was probably a bad idea to use Genesis, but kind of worked out in the end. I'm pretty happy with this build that we got now. It's nothing like fancy. There's no like big gimmicks in this build, but I think it's got fairly good DPS, so pretty happy with this. And we've got the knife piece now, so hopefully we will face the Witness. I'm not comfortable with fighting the Witness with this little health. Like, I haven't fought the Witness very much. I'm not very confident with the Witness. Like, a lot of those bullet hell bits are pretty difficult. So I'm hoping we can get some more health or some really overpowered tier ability before we have to face her. But let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more Dark Souls. I mean, Dark Souls... Yeah, I mean, I've literally only seen in Dark Souls what y'all have seen me play. Like, I have not seen anything beyond where we're up to, which is just, like, the second boss. So, I still don't really know what to expect with Dark Souls. I'm looking forward to more of sort of the storytelling stuff, which I know is very minimal. Like, I'm not expecting, you know, cutscenes. I'm not expecting a whole bunch of dialogue. Alright, this guy's about to fire a laser, isn't he? Yeah, there we go. This is a really, like, unusual tier pattern with that. Oh, more damage up. Love it. Got a Devil Room. Not a lot of health to spend. I do not think it's worth getting Hairball. I mean, Hairball is, like, close range, and it would sort of fit with the flies that we've got. But yeah, I would really rather save some health. Especially now that we've got to go through this thing and lose 2 hearts to get into, what's this area called again? It's the purple zone. It's the purple nurple zone, Gehenna. I think Gehenna is a word for hell in some language, I think. Not sure. What do these guys do again? I'm not sure how they do. Oh, that is what they do. Okay, cool. Great. Good to know. Good to know. I love having the knife. Very handy for Gehenna. I like these gimmick rooms. Like those enemies just like annihilate each other, and we don't have to do anything, which is fun. I was a little bit skeptical at first of some of the sort of weird room designs that Repentance introduced, but now I'm pretty happy with all of them. I think, like there are some sort of light puzzles that happen sometimes with like the sliding spike blocks and like the teleporters and. Just some weird room arrangements with some weird resources and enemies in them, and I actually like them all. Like, none of them are none of them are too complicated, none of them are like too weird, but like they're interesting enough to sort of spice up and add some variety to it all. I don't think there's much profit to be had in gambling with that person, so we're gonna roll on. There are treasure rooms in Gehenna, aren't there? It's just the depths, isn't it? So I'm really... Oh, scheiße. Really hoping for some good treasures, because we have very little health. I think our odds of success are low at this point, unfortunately. No reason why they should be, really. Like, this is a perfectly respectable build. But I would just love some more powerful items. Like this gimmick with, like, pressing the red button. I think that particular room is not a great room, because why would you ever do anything but... go and step on the button, you know? Like, there's no option better than that. So I think that particular room is kind of dumb. But like in some of the rooms where like the red button is somewhere like kind of inaccessible, where it's like risky or like costs a key or a bomb to press the big red button, I think that is a good design, because that, you know, it's giving you strategic choices. You have to think about it. Ooh, this is not good. This is not good at all. Don't you try and trick me. I can't be bamboozled by a mummy. Not again. Alright. So I've got 1 heart left. We're deep in the dark, and this item's gonna change everything. No, it's not. That little dude is not very helpful. What's this? Kane's other eye. Not very useful. This is looking difficult, friends. I don't know how this is gonna end, but it might not be good. I'm liking the slowdown effect that we're getting from the itsy bitsy spider. We'll bomb these fires in the hope of a little bit more health. Bajaki says, you're not allowed to play Elden Ring until I've seen you do back-to-back Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro no-hit runs with no leveling or upgrading. That is not going to happen, friend. If we get through just the original Dark Souls trilogy, I'll be pretty chuffed. But unfortunately, I think that no-hit runs are a tad too ambitious. But, or, you know, maybe I'll fall in love with the thing. Who knows? Alright, don't you try and sneak up on me, Spike Blocks. I know your game. I know the way you think. You think, oh, there's a blue baby. I'm gonna squash him with me spikes. Easy as that. No. Not so, sir. I'm hip to your grift. My hips are all over your grift. And I've seen that grift before. There's a shop. We could go to the shop. We could engage in some commerce. Maybe that's what'll save us. Cause gosh knows, ooh, commerce will save you from anything. Trickle down economics. It'll fix everything. Don't worry. Market solutions. That's what we're gonna get. Free market solutions to our everyday problems. We will buy our way out of this bind. Well, health is great. Ooh, and the Soul of Bethany is great. So hey, maybe Keynesian economics has something going for it. Options. This means that every time you clear a room, you get 2 different options of what kind of consumables you want to pick up. So yeah, that's all pretty groovy. Might as well bomb the shopkeeper. Oh, get a secret room again. Another twofer. Just got to fight this greed guy, which is annoying. Not really much profit in this. Well, there is some profit. He will drop some coins, which hopefully we can use in the next shop if we live to see the next shop. Counterfeit penny. Wealth of wealth. We are flush with cash once again. And otherwise, I think it's time to roll. Alright. In terms of other Olympic sports, like combined Olympic sports, I'd like to see Connect 4 kayaking. Like, preferably in the kayak. Like chess boxing is cool because, you know, like, I believe the way it works is that you alternate between the two. Oh boy. That was ugly. We just rammed right through him. Oh, no. That is a lot of tears. Christ on a bun with ketchup. I feel like we shouldn't have done Genesis. We're going to try one more time. Last time, that was just a warm-up. We're a professional gamer. We're going to try again. This time, it's going to be a flawless run. Flawless. Full focus. 100% of attention. But also, what other kinds of double Olympic sports should we do? I'd like to see crocheting mixed with deadlifting. Because that's the thing. I'd like to see some of these like double sports that actually like interact with each other. Oh, able mirrored buddy. That's just such a boring item. You know what I'm going to do? We're just going to reset because I want to get a more interesting first item. So there's like, you know, I mean, some might call it cheating. I like to call it strategic pro gamer moves, okay? This is like a highly tactical play. Like, if you go watch some of the Binding of Isaac YouTubers out there, I think very few of them would be brave, nay, heroic enough to reset the run because they got a bad first item. Look, am I a hero for resetting that run? Well, if you insist, I am. Yes, thank you. I take the mantle with a heavy but a courageous heart to say that yes, I am a hero. Oh my! See, this is why we reset, baby. This is probably the one, like, probably the best item. Probably the best item we could have started with. Satanic Bible generates black hearts. So every like 6 rooms or so, we can just get health. And when I'm distractedly talking about the Olympics, health is something that we need. I mean, you know, there are some very powerful like DPS items and stuff that you can find, but I'm extremely happy with the Satanic Bible, especially right at the start of the game. See, those little bits of damage there? That will be compensated for by the Satanic Bible. I would love to get battery items, because battery items could make the Satanic Bible even better. We're going to be slightly risky for the biscuit, and we're going to spend a bomb and a key to open this gold chest. Well, yeah, probably worth it. Probably worth it, because we can get this key now. So that's all good. Kara in the live chat says, ice skating and whittling. Great idea. Because, like, I'd really love to see these double sports being performed simultaneously. Like, if someone's ice skating and their hands are free to do some whittling with their hands while they skate, that would be an incredible athletic and, like, hand-eye coordination and artistic competition. Because, like, I want to see both the ice skating and the... Like, what I'd like to see is that, you know, I mean, the thing that's cool about chess boxing is that it combines brains with brawn, right? But as well as brains and brawn, and speed and wits, I'd like to see artistic flair being part of it. Like, I want people to be judged on their creativity in their whittling. Like, you know, what kind of... Ooh, that's weird. Sometimes there are devil deals instead of boss items, and I don't know why, and I don't really like it. Except, what does that item do? I'm gonna, like, cheekily look that up as well, because that item, it's called, like, Athame or something, I think. Is that the one where, like, when you take damage, a black ring will appear? Yeah, okay, so that was an item that was really nerfed by Repentance. That item used to be amazing, because when you take damage, a black ring would appear and do damage to your enemies. And enemies killed by the black ring would sometimes drop black hearts, which is amazingly powerful. But now, not so much, especially when it would leave us with half a heart. Darcy says sprinting and judo. So the people like attacking each other with judo moves, that's a pretty good item. While running, because I think that would be incredible. I'm imagining a lot of tripping over happening. I'd like to see sumo wrestling and sumo wrestling and knitting, because sumo wrestling is such like a large, like heavy, cumbersome sort of emotion. Look at that. Outbreak is good. Whereas knitting is such like a fine hand-eye coordination type thing. And doing those two things simultaneously, I think, would be amazing. Mum's Locket probably spawns red hearts or something. Could someone look up what that does? Because, like, I don't want to be spawning red hearts, so I don't see why I would want that trinket. Anything with Sudoku, I think, would be great. What about cooking? Like, I would like to see cooking be an Olympic sport. Alongside... I mean, I would like to see MMA cooking. So I would like to see people, like, in the kitchen, cooking up some chicken, cooking up some profiteroles, but they are simultaneously being assaulted by knife-wielding combatants. And like wrestling, just like wrestling on like the countertops and like pots and pans flying every which way. You know, Gordon Ramsay gets in there. Actually, this sounds enormously stressful. But gosh, like, those competitors would be incredible human specimens. You show me someone who can fillet a fish whilst being filleted by their opponent. You know, beating someone into submission, grappling them on the ground while their casserole is in the oven. I think that would be spectacular viewing. And imagine the sponsorship possibilities. Like, you could have, like, you know, the knife block and the, you know, saucepan being advertised by its manufacturer in between, during the event. Like, would you not want to buy the saucepan that is currently being used to bash an athlete about the ears while they're trying to chop up some onions? This just sounds incredibly dangerous, doesn't it? Possibly too much, so. I think we're going to hold out on the devil deals. I would like to get some angel room deals, because gosh knows we need the health. I reckon we should go down to the moist zone, through this door over here. I don't know why we're constantly being offered devil deals instead of boss items. What is going on there? Satanic Bible is doing it, Ethan says. Is that a new thing that Satanic Bible does? It spawns devil deals instead of boss items. I can see the reason why you'd do that, because like when you have lots of hearts to spare, it makes sense to spend them on devil deals, but I'm feeling like we're being punished by Edmund, and I feel like Satanic Bible is not as good when we are denied of boss items. Pretty reasonable nerf, but it's a pretty serious nerf, I think. Kara in the live chat suggests artistic swimming and Magic the Gathering. I think that would be a great combined sport, but I'm imagining the cards getting wet. I suppose you could put Magic the Gathering cards in a entirely waterproof plastic sheath, because a lot of the serious Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh players, they put all their cards inside plastic to protect the resale value, Another heart from Satanic Bible, lovely. So I suppose if you had like a waterproof set of Magic the Gathering cards, it would be safe to play in a submarine environment. Does submarine mean underwater even if you're just talking about people? Ooh, D20. Also one of the more powerful items in the game. I wonder if it's also been nerfed by Repentance. I bet it has. There's probably an argument for getting the D20 because it can re-roll any pickup items into other items. But I don't really want to be doing that sort of thing. Tears Up plus knockback. Solid item. Solid item. Love some Tears Up. We need some DPS. I'm really hurting with not having any boss items, so I'm glad to just get some Tears Up. So yeah, it's early days in this run. I'm very happy about Satanic Bible. I wish we could get some battery items. I really want to save up some cash and hopefully find some battery items in the shop, because that would make a huge difference. If we got like Habit or the battery or jumper cables, all of those would be an incredibly big deal for this run. And obviously we want to be clearing out every room so we get as many opportunities to charge up the Bible as possible. Let's keep rolling. Zach in the live chat suggests that if you're playing underwater Magic the Gathering, you'd probably have to weight the cards as well as making them waterproof. That's a really good point. I mean, if you're playing like at the bottom of the pool, if you're laying the cards at the bottom of the pool, like I imagine you could also have like a little floaty table on the surface of the swimming pool so that you can play your cards on that. Might be a bit more stable than underwater. Because if you're actually swimming around in the water while you are playing Magic the Gathering, I think the current of the water is gonna make the cards fly every which way, which might be part of the fun. Like legally, like if you can use the currents of the water to move your opponent's card off the board, like does that count as like defeating the monster in Magic if you manage to flipper and kick your opponent's cards away with the water? I think that would be cool. Pretty tempted to get Death's Touch, not gonna lie. If I take one of those items, does it count as a regular devil deal and disqualify me from Angel Rooms? Ooh, that is a great item. The Mind. That will show us the location of all rooms on all floors, which is pretty great. We're gonna fight the Angel, because the key piece will make Angel Rooms more likely, and I do like the Angel Rooms. And fighting the Angel gives us another charge for the Satanic Bible. And as long as I don't get hit, then it's worth it. That is a bit of a big if. Yep, it's not worth it. But that's alright. So yeah, you may have to weigh down the Magic cards. I agree with you guys. Which I think might add a certain amount of gravity to the situation. Which I mean in both senses of the word. Because I think, like, dropping down a heavy Magic card, like a brick of a Magic card that, like, thunks to the bottom of the water. Like, you'd have, like, a microphone under the surface of the water that would hear the reverberations when you drop your brick lead-weighted Magic card to the ground. And when you're, like, activating your trap card and everyone in the audience can hear it smack on the floor, oh, goodness, that would be exciting. Alright, we've charged up our Bible. And we're out of here. Tempted to get Death's Touch. I do wonder if buying Death's Touch counts as a devil deal and will disqualify us from Angel Rooms. Alright, so Oh, I just... Oh, no, right. We need to get the knife piece. Okay. Let's go in the super secret room, and we find nothing good. I should have expected that was there. Because the super secret rooms are consistent when they spawn, aren't they? Strictly speaking, we want to save 2 bombs to get into the minecart zone, but I want to see what's in here. Ooh, you spoil me, Edmund. I'm really liking the money because I really want to buy some battery items, and if we're really lucky, we might find some battery items in here. Let's have a look. Holy moly. Well, actually, that's the least useful battery item. Because that allows us to charge the Satanic Bible twice, but there's no reason to hold on to charge with the Satanic Bible unless, like, we end up with all of our slots full, which is not likely to happen. So that's kind of useless, honestly. Probably shouldn't have bought it. But hey. There's this thing that happened to me once with one of my horses, where one of the stable people who worked there was always leaving the hay that was fed to the horses all over the place, like on the floor of the stables, and was getting kicked around by the horses and ended up everywhere. Or would get tripped up in the doorways, or would like blow around. Because if you're leaving loose hay on the ground in a stable, and if there's even the slightest breeze, you'd better believe that the hay is going everywhere. So the solution that this stable hand used was she would always put the sheaths of hay and the big bundles of hay, she would rest them on the hindquarters of the horse that was in the stables. Which seemed like slightly rude to use an animal as a table, but kept it off the ground, kept it out of the way, kept it accessible. So I couldn't argue that this strategy that she used to store the hay was pretty effective. And what did she call it? But hay. That was the segue. You see, that was a callback. You know, that was it's called comedy. Hero Wake. Ooh, scheiße. I think that, like... Oh, yeah, alright. So we are lost now, so we will die if we get hit. So let's not get hit. I think that the key to comedy... Or I think the key with, like, trying to be funny is putting yourself in a situation where you're not expected to be funny, but that if you are funny, it's like a cool bonus. So, like, you want people to be impressed when you are funny, but you don't want people to be disappointed when you're not funny, you know? And I feel like video game streaming is one of those situations. Like, if you're not, like, setting the house on fire during a gaming stream, no one's gonna be mad, you know? Because they came for the pro game and moves, obviously. That's what it says on the description, you know? That's what the people came for. But if you happen to be funny along the way, people are like, oh, that's great. And that's why, to me, like, the coolest, craziest motherfuckers in the world are stand-up comedians. Because that is the most extreme situation of you are explicitly there to make people laugh. You are putting your balls on the line, and you're saying, if I'm not funny, I've failed. And I can't imagine a more stressful situation than accepting, accepting money and advertising on a stage, I'm going to be funny, and then, being expected to be funny. That to me is like the confidence and the skill and the talent required to be a stand-up comedian. Just the sheer chutzpah of it is, to me, just enormously impressive. Especially, like, improv comedians. Like, I think improv comedians are geniuses. I mean, the good ones are, anyway. It's just incredible. And I think that sort of the hack for, like, those of us who aren't funny is to put yourself in a situation where, like, no one's going to be disappointed if you're not funny, because you're not standing on a comedy stage and you're not calling yourself a comedian. But if you happen to be funny along the way, then people have a good time. All right, so let's... Oh, should we get Death's Touch? So Death's Touch, this, like, scythe item, it gives damage up and it gives piercing tears, which makes for... And it also reduces range, I think, which is a bit dangerous. All right, we're not going to we're not going to take the scythes. I think it would be more of a baller move to take the scythes, but I think the reason why we failed last run was because of an excess of baller moves. We're gonna make our baller moves in moderation this time. So I think we're gonna try and be sensible. I'm really hoping to get some good battery items in the shops, if possible. And thanks to the mind, we can go directly to the shops. We will have a little look in here. Nothing super useful in here. TBH. There's probably nothing in the bedroom here. So let's just press on. I really hate these enemies that pop out of the ground. Really not enjoying them. Because like sometimes it's like really hard to navigate around them. You've really got to be... You've got to control where they go. Like that's sort of the secret with kind of most Isaac bosses. You not only need to know what they're gonna do and know how to dodge it, but you also need to manipulate them into a situation where you'll be able to dodge them. It's some real, like, spatial, you know, strategic, cognitive stuff. And it's all unconscious, really. Like, that's why I'm able to, like, talk about crap while playing this game. And I'm not even, like, super good at this game. Like, I've heard, I don't know if this is true. This might be a factoid. Which, by the way, fun factoid. The word factoid doesn't mean fact. The word factoid actually means something that people think is a fact, but is actually untrue. That is the definition of factoid. But you want to get real meta? You want to get real Borgias about it? Well, I'm actually not sure if it's true. The definition of factoid, where factoid is not actually something that's true, is itself possibly a factoid. That's a real twisteroo I've put on you, eh? Alright, we really don't want to get hit by this flyer because it would take away our charge. I don't really want that thing. Let's pick this up. Scissors, that is useless. Let's keep pressing on. What was I talking about before the factoid? I was talking about how I heard a fact, or a factoid, not sure which, about how they did like brain scans of taxi drivers in New York City. And taxi driving is, of course, an occupation where you have to navigate a lot, and you have to learn to know where all the streets are, and you have to know how to get around. And they did a brain scan of some taxi drivers, and they found that New York taxi drivers have like a enlarged or a hyperactive, I forget which brain region. Is it hypothalamus or something? It was like the brain regions associated with memory and spatial reasoning was grossly enlarged in New York taxi drivers because they had used so much of their brain to like navigate and to move around and to plot out, you know, how to get from point A to point B, which is super interesting. And I bet if you did brain scans of pro gamers like myself, or like actual like really good people who play a lot of video games, I reckon you would find some really interesting like brain differences. And like one of the misconceptions, one of the factoids, well, not really a factoid, but one of the sort of like misconceptions about the brain that I think you see around the place is that a lot of people like tend to talk about brain areas as though like this piece of brain meat is the bit that does this, and that piece of brain meat is the bit that does that. But my understanding is that it's usually a lot more grey than that. Your grey matter is pretty grey, in the respect that it's not like there's like specific zones that are entirely responsible for, you know, particular functions. It tends to be a bit more hazy than that. I mean, it's not even fully understood, but like some, you know, there's like multiple brain areas that are involved in multiple different functions, and it's not always clear cut. The brain is, you know, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey in that respect, is my understanding. But again, I might just be, you know, I might be talking out my clack. Okay, let's defeat this fella, and I know it's unlikely, but I am holding out hope for car battery would be the best one. Some battery items in the shop. Oh! Speak and ye shall receive. This is a battery item. This is useful. It's not like the best battery item, but it's a battery item that will drop batteries periodically, and that will charge up our Satanic Bible, which will give us more health. So I'm feeling a lot better about this run at this point. Golemuk in the live chat says Shrifty has unlocked Lost and completed most of the post. It's all for the characters. He's good at the game. Don't let him tell you otherwise. This is a hard game. This is a hard game. This is a difficult game. I mean, like everything, it's about practice. And one of the things that I like about Isaac is that it's sort of a mix of like instinctual twitch, like dodging, like physical mechanics, learning how to dodge, duck, and dive. But it's also about knowledge. Like there are literally, oh, that is so lucky. Look at all those black hearts. That is so much health. Oh, doggy dog. You know what? You know how we got the battery before, and I said we don't need the battery because we're not going to get all of the health. We're not going to like max out our health. We are now in danger of maxing out our health because we've only got one heart space there. So I am going to use the Satanic Bible now. But if we charge up the Satanic Bible while we've maxed out our health, like right now, this is very lucky. There's no point using the Satanic Bible right now. But thanks to the battery, we can now double charge the Bible. We can store the equivalent of 2 hearts in the Bible at once. So we essentially have a whole bunch of backup health. We have like a couple of hearts of backup health, which is fantastic. Very fortunate. So I was hoping for some good battery items, and that has indeed happened. So very fortunate. What I'd really like now is some damage. We've got lots of health, which is great. But if we're gonna beat the Witness, we're gonna need some DPS. Cause like I'm not that good at dodging the Witness. We're gonna need some DPS to take her down quickly. So how's that gonna happen? Hopefully we might be able to get some Angel Room items. You know, if we got something like Sacred Heart, that would be game changing, or like Brimstone or something. Because you know, Devil Room items are offered in the place of boss items, because of the Satanic Bible, apparently. So, I guess it's possible that something like Brimstone could be on offer after a boss fight. That'd be pretty great. But I mean, as I was saying, like, you know, I like how Isaac, it involves a lot of like, you know, dodging, dip, duck, dive, sort of like physical hand-eye coordination skills. But it also involves knowledge, because there are literally like upwards of like 500 different unique items in this game that you need to recognize what they do, and you need to make strategic decisions about whether it's a good idea to pick them up. So there's a lot of like thinking, there's a lot of knowledge, and there's also a lot of lore. There's some really subtle storytelling. You wouldn't know it by looking at what's happening in the game right now, but there's some really interesting storytelling going on in The Binding of Isaac about trauma and family and religion and like all sorts of interesting stuff in a quite like sort of subtle, indirect way. People talk about like, you know, the medium is the message. I think that the medium of video games is used in a really interesting way in The Binding of Isaac, in a really unique way. Like I think a lot of games try to be like, video games try to be good storytelling. Oh man, the Satanic Bible is paying dividends. People talk about like storytelling in video games, and like often stories in video games try to tell stories the same way like movies tell stories, with like, you know, cutscenes and dialogue that interrupt the gameplay. But usually when people play a video game, they don't want to have the gameplay interrupted every 10 minutes by a mediocre, poorly animated cutscene with like mediocre voice acting and writing. Like that's not what video game storytelling should be. Video games shouldn't try to be movies. Video games should try to be their own medium, because they are their own medium with their own unique strengths. The story should tie into the gameplay. The story should be told, oh, whoa, that was very close. I don't know how we avoided damage there. And I think The Binding of Isaac is a great example of a game that tells a story in a way that could only be told through a video game. Like the way that it's effective. And one of the simplest ways, for example, is that one of the great powers of a video game is that it can make you... Should we pick up Gimpy? Ooh, probably not. Gimpy means that when you get hit, you have a chance of spawning a soul heart. So when you lose health, you may gain health to compensate for it. But it costs 3 soul hearts, and I think in the later levels it's unlikely to pay off. But we're at full health thanks to the Satanic Bible. We're looking good. I would just really like to get some DPS items. People are talking about Alt Shift X in the live chat. I don't even know who is this Alt Shift X. What a weird name. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? It's Alt Shift X, I think. What does that even mean? What does that even do? Hold on, I'll try pressing Alt. Oh, I'll try. Hold on. Yeah, I just pressed Alt Shift X. It didn't do anything. Nothing cool happened. Lame name for a lame YouTuber. Whereas Alt Shift X, the original, the best, that's a name I can get behind. It gets everything across. Alt Shift X. It's Swifty. It's Swift. It's Shifty. Well, it's more Swifty. Look, it's a good name. It's a better name than Alt Shift X. I know that much. We just have like quite... Oh, we got the Curse of the Labyrinth. Oh, I don't enjoy this. Oh, do you want to just leave? I kind of want to just leave. We've blown open the door, so we could just leave. But I don't know. We've fought these guys long enough. We can finish them off. I just hate the guys who jump out of the ground, and I hate the champion fat bonies, because the champions, the colored ones, they do more damage than the regular ones. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about whether this game is difficult, and I would say that, you know, like, I mean, like most things, it's just about practice. Like, the first time you played this game, it is intimidating. Oh, that was foolish. Because there's a lot going on. I mean, the first time you play the game, like, the enemies and the content and the items, they only get unlocked, like, one by one. So at first the game starts out fairly simple, and then it gradually gets more complex and more difficult. So I think, you know, from that point of view as well, the design is really good. Like, it doesn't throw you in the deep end. But I was saying, like, you know, the way that Isaac uses, like, the medium of video games for storytelling in a really good way. I mean, you know, on the most basic level, this game is largely about trauma and anxiety and fear. And in order to, like, get that across... Oh, wow. I was just saying how the habit is one of the best possible items we could have gotten. So we've got a lot of health generation. This means that every time we get hurt, it charges up our item, and our item gives us more health. So that's incredibly fortunate. And, you know, admittedly, the only reason we're getting this seed, and the only reason this game is going like this, is because we reset when we got a shitty item at first. So, you know, we look, I wouldn't call it cheating, but I would say the honorable thing would have been to accept the crappy item and soldier on regardless, but we re-rolled for a better chance at a better start, and we got it. So we're feeling lucky today. All right, we're not going to get Thunder Thighs. That gives us health, but it also slows us down, which is bad. We need hops, and we haven't got a lot of speed. So I'm going to take the random one. Hopefully it's not terrible. Homing bombs, that's fine. It's probably not helpful, but whatever. But, you know, this game is about fear and anxiety, and appropriately enough, every gameplay element is designed to provoke anxiety. Like that room just there. That wall of ghosts that was marching inexorably towards us, that unstoppable wall of death, could only be stopped by pressing that button, but there were spikes in the way of the button, and so we just got to stand there being tense and afraid and unsure until the spikes go down so that we can get to safety. So, oh, damn. So yeah, it's a spooky, stressful game, and, like, you know, being lost and afraid is especially some of the emotions that you feel the first time you play the game, and when, wow, that is... Oh, so we really should have been using the battery and storing the charges of the battery so that we could have taken these hearts, but still had extra hearts in the form of Bible charges. Alas, that didn't happen. But we'll fight the angel because we'll get a second key piece from the angel. Why was the angel frozen? I don't actually know. And a second key piece, I believe, will slightly increase the chance of getting another angel room. And I would like to get angel rooms so that hopefully we can get some powerful items. Oh, that was unlucky. So yeah, slightly, slightly unnecessary, but hopefully this will pay off. So yeah, like the first time you play this game, like every time you reach a new boss, oh man, it is so tense fighting a new boss for the first time in this game. Beating a boss for the first time in this game is crazy stressful, really difficult, really intense, or at least I found it to be. And that just perfectly, like the feelings of like dread that you get when you're fighting some new enemy. Oh, I'm being careless. Perfectly fits the feeling that Isaac is meant to have, because Isaac is this like afraid, naked, crying boy being chased by his murderous mother. Man, we're really just walking into these, huh? And so we should feel lost, we should feel afraid, we should feel tense. And that's exactly how the game makes you feel. Because like there's a lot of games where like the gameplay and the tone and the emotional like content of it are like completely divorced. Like there are games where like it's about the end of the world and it's about violence and it's about, running away from monsters, except all the gameplay is designed to be like fun and like joyous and like spectacular. And so the emotional content gives you like whiplash. Like when it goes into a cutscene or something and the main character's like, man, I'm so sad and stressed about how everything's dying and I've got to feed my dog cat food and I've got to eat the dog food, like, oh, this is so serious. And then like you actually get into the game and you're like running across post-apocalyptia in a Corvette, like hitting letterboxes with a baseball bat, and it's like, hang on, this game is fun and lighthearted. How am I meant to believe that it's stressful and dark, We probably strictly don't need to clear these rooms, but I'd like to get some more charges in the Satanic Bible, because God knows we took a bunch of unnecessary damage against the angel there. And we do need to take the minecart to get the second knife piece, so that we can fight the witness. And hopefully, this time we'll get there. Golemuk in the live chat says that in Repentance, this new DLC, they've really changed the meta by making angel rooms better and devil rooms worse. Yeah, devil rooms definitely used to be better. They had better items available at cheaper prices. And so a lot of the time the angel room wasn't worth it. Another interesting thing they did was that like the two of the main final rooms or floors in the game are the chest and the dark place. And it used to be that I'd almost always go to the chest because the chest gives you a bunch of items when you spawn there. And the dark place does not, so why would you ever go to the dark place? But they have changed that recently by having the dark place now offers you some devil deals, I believe, which sort of makes it almost as good as the chest. And the chest doesn't spawn as many items, I don't think. Like it used to be, you'd just be walking around the chest and the chest would just give you a bunch of items. But that's been nerfed a bit, I think. But I think that in terms of the lore, the reason why the chest was full of random items that you could pick up was because I think the chest is Isaac's toy box. And, many of the items in the Binding of Isaac that you pick up are Isaac's like toys and just like objects that are found in Isaac's life. And since the chest is his toy box, you find a bunch of his toys in there, like the Play-Doh and whatever. But of course, since Isaac lives a pretty grim life, a lot of his quote-unquote toys are not things that should be toys for children, like random pills and coat hangers and push pins and dead cats. So, again, like just sort of the miscellaneous objects of Isaac's life tell you so much about his character, without ever needing to tell you in words, It's subtle and it's lived in, I mean, the most cliched writing advice is show, don't tell. And we are shown so much about Isaac without barely any words at all. Golemuk says that because the game's graphics and its content are so humorous, it softens the blow. This game would be intolerable with realistic graphics. Yeah. I mean, one of the sort of basic things is that, Isaac is naked, He's like a naked little boy, and if you rendered a naked little boy in anything approaching realistic graphics, it would not be considered acceptable. But because it's like this super pixel art thing, it's okay. But yeah, like I totally agree. I think I've seen there's like some fan-made or even official YouTube animations showing Binding of Isaac, with Isaac walking around these basement dungeons, you know, naked and crying with all these monsters out there. And it's horrifying. Like when you actually see what it looks like in a semi-realistic style, it is so upsetting. When you're like, oh, this is what this is, you know? So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think the graphics definitely like soften the tone. But I think part of the reason for that is that, you know, Isaac is a little kid, and it's implied, like, from the very main menu. The main menu has like a piece of like paper with a pen hovering above it. And the final cinematic also like alludes to this, where it's suggested that this whole game is a story imagined by Isaac, or, you know, we're seeing this through the eyes of Isaac, because Isaac isn't literally Circle of Protection. That's good for fighting the Witness. That's good. Not game changing, but it's good. And so we're seeing everything through Isaac's imagination, and we've got to sort of question whether he's sort of an unreliable narrator in that sense. But I think that some of the reason why we see things in a sort of like a kiddie or like humorous or sort of simplified way might be because of Isaac being a child. Are there any soul hearts we can pick up? No. All right, let's keep rolling. We're going to Gehenna. We died in Gehenna last time, but this time we're being serious about it. Okay, it really sucks that Curse of the Lost has blocked out the map, because with the mind activated, we could have gone directly to the treasure room and the shop. Ooh, should we do this? Yeah, why not? Ooh, what's that? Beth's Faith. My faith protects me. I don't know what that does. I feel like it's something to do with soul hearts, because it's got a blue heart, but yeah, I really don't know. So strategically speaking, we should probably leave that guy alive so that we can extinguish some of these fires beforehand, huh? So yeah, Beth's Faith. Does someone want to tell me in the chat what Beth's Faith does? Oh, I hate these guys so much. Why are there allowed to be homing enemy lasers? They are, like, a bit easier to dodge than you might think, but oh, it's not easy. It's not easy. Oh, come on, really? So yeah, it's a difficult game, but you... Oh, what was that? Was that the black sludge doing damage? Alright, we've got to be a bit more careful. We've got to be a bit more careful. Alright. Alright. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I just wish we had, like, homing or, like, technology or, like... I mean, you know, Death's Touch would be pretty nice. Or, like, even more, like, shot speed. Like, our stats are not great. The health generation is fantastic, though. Cannot deny that. Oh, these guys with the lasers are very dangerous. So we keep getting random charge ups. I think that they changed the way that Buzz Baby, like the little battery baby, works. Because it used to drop battery pickups, but now I think it just directly charges up your item. And is it... I don't know what it's based on. Does it happen, like, based on time? Like, is it that if we spend more time in a room, we'll get more charges to the Satanic Bible? Because that would be pretty overpowered. That'd be amazing. It's probably not how it works. But I'm interested to know, like, how the Buzz Baby works exactly. Ooh. Outbreak plus knife. Ooh, purity. That's fantastic. So we can clear the curse and we can see the map again. So I reckon it's worth going down to the shop. And maybe we'll get another battery item. We've gotten so many battery items. We probably don't need more battery items. But, oh, I hate these bloody nun things. I think they're called bishops. Because they make other enemies invulnerable until you kill them. That's another one of the cool sort of like... It's not a puzzle, but it's like it's a slightly more like complicated room design, which is kind of interesting. Which I like. As much as I hate it, I kind of like it. Someone in the live chat asks, did the parents of Isaac have another child other than Isaac? Well, one of the interesting things is that, like, one of the first characters you unlock is Maggie. Should we buy Little Spider-Man? It's not very useful, and we might be better off saving our money for something else. But it's pretty fun having a spider buddy, so we're gonna get him. One of the interesting things is that one of the first, like, alternative characters you unlock is Maggie. And Maggie is, appears to be like a little blonde girl. Except you sort of figure out that Maggie isn't an entirely different person. She's just Isaac wearing a wig. And I think one of the sort of implications in one of the cutscenes is that, like, it seems as though Isaac's mother wanted a girl. Or at least Isaac feels that way. And, like, Isaac dresses as Maggie in, like, this sort of tragic attempt to sort of be loved by his mother, because he feels like his mother doesn't love him and feels like he's not enough, and ooh, this is close. And so I think that's, oh really? I think that's why Isaac wears the wig, is that he feels like he's unloved, and he feels like his mother would love him more if he was a girl, so he tries to be a girl to please her. And like all the different Isaac characters, oh, do we dare pick up Play-Doh? It's probably good, but it's probably not amazing. Whereas whatever this is could be amazing. So let's pick it up. Leo Stompy. Not amazing. It allows us to break rocks, but it doesn't really do much. And it also sort of blocks some of our vision. Like, it sort of makes it harder to see part of the game, I think. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, probably would have been better off with Play-Doh. But oh well, we got to charge up our Satanic Bible. Alright, let's just keep on rolling. And let's go into the secret room. Can we access this chest at all? I don't think we can, no. Okay. Open up the secret room, let's see what's inside. Soul Heart's nice, don't really need it. Might as well blow up a shopkeeper. Hopefully get an angel room or something. Get a little dosh, that's pretty good. Alright. But is this game hard? Yeah, I think this game is hard. Because, I mean, the other sort of like fundamental aspect of this game is the randomness. Like, you can have it go really well, or you can have it go really badly, which is probably part of like the addictive nature of it. Like, you sort of, like, it's designed to be played with endless repetition, because there are so many different ways it can go down. And every time that you just almost beat that boss, you're always tempted to like, ooh, I'll try again, I might be luckier this time. Which, and you know, gambling is a theme of The Binding of Isaac, because there are all these like slot machines everywhere in like the arcades and stuff. And like fundamentally, like, so much of it is about risk versus reward. Like, you pay a key to find out what's in the chest, and it might be worth it and it might not be worth it. It's all risk versus reward, which is basically gambling. Oh, I did not see the spike fellow. And, you know, minor spoilers, I suppose, but in the sort of new final zone, there is a revelation that Isaac's father gambled away the family's money. And so, you know, a lot of the sort of gambling themes in Isaac's world, I think, come from his perception of his father's gambling. And then, you know, the other sort of influence is his mother's religion. Because Isaac's mother is devoutly Christian, and so there's all this sort of Christian items and influence around the game. Which, to Isaac's mind, are mostly very sort of scary. I don't think Isaac understands the theology very well. I think, like a lot of children who were raised on fiery flavors of Christianity, it all seems a bit scary. There's a lot of talk of sin and punishment and fire and being bad and evil and this sort of, you know, false dichotomy between good people and bad people and going to heaven and going to hell. All of that can be very traumatic to a kid, especially a kid who doesn't have a great family situation and, you know, is trying to understand the world, but everything feels a bit scary. So, it's tough for Isaac. And the religious theme's a part of that. What's the smart way to do this? How about we lure it out here, and then we lure it out here, and we put it down there. You stay there. You stay in the corner. Actually, I should have just walked through the bricks, because we have Leo. Oh well. Maybe we'll get a soul heart here. That'd be cool. Nope. I want to know what the new blue heart, soul heart spawn chance is from destroying blue fires, because it has changed, I believe. Alright, so we're doing pretty well. I wish we had more DPS. I wish we had more powerful attacks. Because the health generation is fantastic, but I can't dance all day against the Witness. This boss that we're going up on is very dangerous. Unlike these gentlemen. So, you know, those like greed guys with the coins for eyes are also part of the whole sort of gambling money theme. Is this? Yeah, Mausoleum 1. And I like, you know, the coin on the eyes thing. Like, there's some, you know, cultural traditions and mythologies and stuff and ancient practices where you'd put a coin on. Oh, that was dumb. Where you put a coin on people's eyes when they're dead. I think sometimes it's to pay the ferryman, isn't it? Because like Chiron the ferryman is a psychopomp. And the word oh, the knife is against me now, and so is the spider. This is terrible. God damn it. Oh, I shouldn't have picked up the spider after all. Oh, this is scary. There's a lot going on. We need to use the bombs, don't we? We got homing bombs, we should use them. Oh, we had. Because psychopomp is a word that means a person who guides souls to the underworld. When you die, the psychopomp takes you to Hades or to hell or wherever your destination might be. And the psychopomps aren't always free. I guess psychopompery is it's a paid profession. you never psychopomp for free. It's a bit like, it's probably a bit like Uber or something. You know, it's one of those, like, freelance gigs. So the psychopomps gotta take money where they can. And sometimes in ancient traditions, that means via pennies and coins and stuff put inside the mouths or over the eyes of dead people. Which is pretty cool. Did we ever figure out what this trinket does? Because I have no idea. The little blue heart in the bottom left. I'd love to know what it does, but I do not know. Oh, these guys have a lot of health. Oh boy. I really like these like eyeball guys that only move while you're firing. Because almost always in the game, you have every incentive to fire constantly all the time. But these... Oh, this is a bit scary, isn't it? How should I deal with this? YOLO. Ah! I feel like Indiana Jones. Alright, because usually you want to be firing all the time, but with those eyeballs around, you want to fire as little as possible, which is really interesting. So that's an example of the sort of thing that I'm glad they added to Repentance. I was a bit afraid that they were going to fuck with the formula. I was a bit afraid that it already had too much content, but very happy with Repentance. I wonder if it will actually be the last DLC, because it was sort of billed as this is the final update, final bit of content ever. But I'm pretty sure Edmund has said that multiple times before about the Binding of Isaac. And you could accuse him of, like, bloating the item pool a bit too much. Like, you know, when there's a whole bunch of, like, you know, mildly... Oh, no, that's bad. When there's a whole bunch of, like, you know, okay or, like, not super interesting items filling up the item pool, in a roguelike, that's a bad thing. How about we just go around? Yeah, let's do that. Money. But let's go in... Oh, we don't have any bombs for the secret room. That sucks. But we do have a key for the treasure room. And we've got to spend more keys if we want to actually get the treasure. Oh, I think zombie baby is good. It spawns flies, it does damage. It might not be as good as the other one, but I'm happy to get a little bit of guaranteed damage. I'm still a bit worried about the witness. I don't know if we're gonna win. Like, we have heaps of health, which is awesome, but like I'm not that good at dodging the witness. So I would love to get a bit more damage up in here. There are a lot of enemies on the screen right now. Holy guacamole. I really love combining swearing with like gosh and holy moly. Like, I love saying like, you know, like the G-rated version of swearing alongside actual swearing. It just sort of spices it up. I feel self-conscious about swearing, I think. Like, I think swearing is fun. Like, it adds a dash of spice to whatever you're saying. It gives a bit of irreverence, gives it a bit of punch. But, you know, some people don't like it, and I respect that. Okay, alright. So I used the sun card, which cleared the room and did a few other things. You could argue that was a bad use of the sun card, but like, we don't need it to reveal the floor because we already have the mind, and we don't need it to heal us because we are Blue Baby. So I think that was actually a justifiable use of the sun, because we were in a tricky situation and that solved it. So there's a man for every tool and a tool for every man. Was that what Tywin Lannister said? Probably something slightly less homoerotic. Alright, so we don't need to clear out the floor, but like, I would love to get a bomb to go to the secret room. Don't you fire, don't you fire. He fired. But we've got our bombs. So... oh, if we do one more room, we can get another black card out of it from the charged key, so I reckon that's a good idea. So let's do this one last room. Oh no. Okay. Those brimstone flies are kind of fun. Okay, so we've got some bombs for the secret room. We will fill up our satanic Bible. Oh, we just walked into some spikes. It's fine, whatever. I don't care. It's always those who protest too much, you know. Alright, that's pretty groovy. Not super lock up. It's probably not useful. I think it's time to just fight the boss, innit? We got to get through the dead womb. And that's going to be difficult, but it's going to be made a lot easier by the fact that we've got the mind. That's going to reveal where we need to go so that we can navigate through the dead womb, which again, not a sentence that I ever expected I'd say very often. You know what? We might as well charge up the Satanic Bible a bit more, because gosh knows we're going to need the hearts. So if we're really lucky, we'll get an angel room after this fight, and it's going to give us an amazing item. That's what I'm hoping. Is this like the Mega Mum fight? Is it going to be like the lasers and everything? Yes, it is. Mum gets a lot scarier. She starts doing like the triple stomp as well, which I do not enjoy. The lasers I find not too bad once you know that they're coming. Ooh, but the lasers and the foot are pretty spooky. Oh yeah, there's the triple stomp. I hate the triple stomp because it's not consistent either. Like, sometimes it triple stomps and sometimes it doesn't. And I find that a bit difficult to deal with. Maybe there's a different, like, sound prompt when it's the double stomp. I've really got to listen during the mum fight. Otherwise that happens. Alright, we've almost beaten her, though. Get back, evil fetus. I need to kill mother. Alright, there we go. We're going to pick up the negative because it gives us some damage. And we're going to knife our way through to the It Lives. And then we'll be on our way to the Dead Womb thing. Okay, let's use the Satanic Bible. I cannot stress enough how incredibly lucky we were to get the Satanic Bible as the first item. And then all these battery items to keep it charged. Including the habit. Like, the habit is a huge deal. So, I'm pretty happy about that. It lives, not too difficult, especially when you got the Circle of Protection. Although the patterns are different in Repentance. They changed It Lives. Well, they changed this version of It Lives, which I find a bit terrifying. But it's nothing compared to the Witness. Ooh, okay, alright. I think we got it done, and now it's time to go into the Dead Womb. And this is where I am so glad we have the mind, because, like, the Dead Womb... What's it actually called? What's it actually called? The corpse, yeah. So now that we're in the corpse, because normally it's called the womb, but now it's dead, so I call it the Dead Womb. We should probably check out the treasure room, because it might be something really cool. Golemuk in the live chat says that speed would be pretty handy. Yes, we need to do some dodging in the Witness fight, and we have, like, almost just base speed. So... I wish we had more speed. Not likely to get a whole bunch more anytime soon, but if wishes were fishes. Money, not really useful. I wonder how we should use the sun card. Oh, strictly speaking, we should be breaking all the rocks, because they could have crawl spaces underneath them. Which path should we take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2... I guess we should go this way so that we can go to the secret room. That might have something good. It's a shame that we no longer have the knife anymore, because the knife is really good for clearing out rows of enemies like that. Alright, we can handle this. Where did we get those Bethany wisps from? Where did we get those wisps? That's weird. We're getting some... I like being surprised by this game. Like, there are so many different items that interact in so many weird ways. But it's always doing something new. I don't know where those wisps came from. Alright, we'll clear out the maggots. Kill this dead thing. Does that make it undead? I'm not sure. I was never clear on how killing the undead worked. Because what is it? It's silver bullets for werewolves. It's garlics and steaks for vampires. For the Edward Cullens of the world. We have no bombs. Alright. Can't get into the secret room. What do these guys do again? Oh, the poison. I think that the poison is a pretty cool mechanic. Because you can stand in it for a little while, but if you stand in it for long, it'll damage you. Oh, we might as well use the Satanic Bible. Because even when our stuff is full, it'll convert blue soul hearts to black hearts, which is... Whoa, that's bad. Alright, so we're almost at the end of the Corpse 1. These are like the things in Half-Life, aren't they? There used to be those fellas in Half-Life that'd suck you upwards. Oh, it's from the Bethany trinket, Darcy says. Thanks, Darcy. So yeah, apparently this Bethany trinket is spawning wisps for us, which is great, because the wisps block enemy projectiles, which will be very handy against the Witness. Okay, so there's an argument that we could spend more time clearing the floor to get bombs for the secret rooms and charges for the Satanic Bible. Oh, I hate this boss. I hate this boss so much. We were streaming this boss kicking my ass before. Oh, damn. Because it's got like multiple stages. Like the first time you fight it, you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. It hasn't got very much health. But, oh, what the fuck? But then it sucks you down into this like subterranean zone, and then you have to like fight in like a side-scrolling style. So we're getting sucked down now, and then we got to fight this thing, and it fires like lasers. All right. Oh jeez. Oh boy. Oh jeez. I don't really know how it's even meant to be fair, this boss, because I'm just going to use some... Oh, I can't use bombs. I wish I could use some bombs on this thing. Because I'm paranoid that it's going to fire a laser at any moment, and I don't know exactly when the laser fires. Then the laser fires! That is brutal. I need a lot more practice with that boss. But luckily, the Satanic Bible is compensating for our incompetence. The Circle of Protection is doing absolute work, turning some of the enemy projectiles into projectiles for us. So that's fantastic. Wish I had some bombs to speed this up. Oh, this is not easy to dodge. Alright, let's keep going. I'm not sure why the final stage of this boss is a ball sack, but there you go. Doing a bit of bubble trouble. Who doesn't enjoy some bubble trouble against a ball sack? I've never played bubble trouble with a ball sack before, but I suppose there's a first time for everything. Alright, we did it! And we lost a lot of health, like an embarrassing amount of health. But now we can get a random angel item, and it's a rosary, which is fantastic. Tears gives us some of the much needed DPS. And I think rosary makes soul hearts spawn more often, so that's fantastic. I would like to clear some rooms so that we can charge up the Satanic Bible so we can get a little bit more health before we go into the Corpse 2. Oh, I don't like this guy very much. Don't mean to be rude, but I don't enjoy those tears. Alright, let's see what this is. The Hanged Man, not really useful. Not as useful as the sun, anyway. And I would like to find some bombs, because if we could get into the secret rooms, we could get some cool stuff. Alright, there's some pro gaming stuff. See that tentacle? I meant to be grabbed by that tentacle. That's I had it exactly where I wanted it. Don't you worry. Alright. So do you think YouTube's gonna send me a some kind of a plaque if we defeat this boss? I think that'd be appropriate. When have you seen this level of gaming chutzpah on YouTube.com before? Never. You never have. I'll answer it for you. I mean, you should see the gear that I'm kitted up with. I'm wearing my gaming goggles to, you know, minimize the reflections and maximize my gaming acuity of my perception. I've got my gaming wristbands to reduce the risk. Whoa, what is that guy? Whoa, who are you? What is... I didn't know they did that. I got my wristbands to prevent carpal tunnel. No carpal tunnels in this gaming zone. Oh, that was pretty pro. Pretty pro. Couldn't have done that without my gaming gauntlets. Got my gaming boots for high friction adhesion to the gaming floor. Tiled with high performance gaming surface for maximum gaming velocity. I'm not sure if we're actually gaining health by walking around. Ooh, the Bloody Crown. Ooh. So the Bloody Crown means that treasure rooms spawn in the womb, and I'm assuming that works for the corpse as well. If the Bloody Crown doesn't work for the corpse too, then someone break the news for me, please. But that's otherwise pretty good. Huan in the live chat asked if Battery Baby got nerfed. I don't think it got... Well, maybe it got nerfed. It got changed. Because I think the Battery Baby used to drop battery pickups, but now I think it just directly charges up your active item. And so I don't know if that increases or decreases like the amount of charge that you ultimately get out of the baby. But it certainly has been helping. I have no complaints about, oh, this is a bit risky. Man, the Outbreak Contagion item has been helpful. I think maybe we should just leave. I think we've lost about as much health as we've gained from this escapade, so let's just keep rolling. We'll go into the super secret room. I don't think it'll have anything useful. Yeah. Let's give this fella some keys. It's possible that he'll give us something good. It's unlikely that he'll give us something good, but what else are we going to use the keys for? Lockpick thing, not very useful. Yeah. Alright, let's get out of here. I hate the spikes so much. Oh god. Alright. So let's go on to the Corpse 2, and let's hope that the Bloody Crown works in the Corpse 2. Yes, it does. We got a treasure room, and that is fantastic. Alright, it's a long road to the boss though, so let's just keep it rolling. Alright. What exactly do these... Oh, it's a healing champion. It's healing its pals. That's another interesting mechanic they've added. There's enemies that heal other enemies, so you've got to kill the healers first. What is this? Overwatch? Alright. Secret room. Golden chest. Nothing special. Let's just get to the treasure room. I'll give us like 50% odds of beating the witness. Like, we have a lot of health. Actually, you know what I would love is range. We don't have a lot of range. And you do want some range for hitting the witness. The witness is a pretty big target. But while you're dodging around and staying away from the bullet hell, it's good to have some range. Are these guys just going to keep spawning? I think they are. Let's just... Whoa, there's a gap there that I didn't see. That sucks. Alright, let's mop up. I feel like a mop is not what you'd use on maggots, but I'm not an expert. On maggots or mops. Alright. Contagion, doing good work. Or Outbreak, whatever it's called. Let's finish these guys. And I'd really love some kind of DPS tiers type thing in the treasure room, but we'll have to wait and see. We can run through the poison, that's okay. Ooh, damn it. It'd be nice if the enemies got poisoned. We can clear these guys up. Sneaky mini-man's not getting past me. Bit more batteries. Battery Bomb is absolutely carrying the team. Battery Bomb is a hard carry in this game. We would not have gotten this far without... Oh, they're all over the place. I want them to stay together so they're easier to hit. I like the Spider Buddy that we've got. He gives the enemies health bars, which is helpful for prioritizing targets, I reckon. Okay, let's just deal with this. Deal with that. Ooh, that's a bit close, but that's okay. These guys have a lot of health. How would you fight this guy if you were playing like a character who like only has short range attacks? Like if you're playing as like the Forgotten Bone Man or whatever, how would you get through that moat of poison to attack that guy? That would be difficult. Okay, what's in the pill? Nothing good. Let's keep going. We don't really need keys. Whoa. Robo Baby is not very helpful. It's not terrible, but it's not very helpful, so hopefully this is better. Nordleaf. So Nordleaf can be used to like break the game because when you stand still, you become invincible. But when you're invincible, you can't attack. So most of the time it's kind of useless. But if you have some orbitals or some familiars that will attack for you while you're invincible, you can beat any boss in the game if you're patient. If you literally just sit there and watch, you can just stay invincible while the familiars or the orbitals kill the boss for you. So it's really the last attempt of the truly cowardly. Alright, so we will fill up the Satanic Bible. Actually, this is very lucky. This is a great use of all this cash that we don't need, because we can convert it into some black hearts. I really like the battery bomb, because the battery bomb can not only charge your items, but it can double charge your items even when you don't have the battery item. So normally you can't double charge items, but with this guy you can, which is pretty cool. So we'll fill up the Bible, and we will go and face the witness with full health. With, like, the most health possible. Goldenmook says this could be invaluable for the bullet hell phase. Abso-fruitly. So we'll basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12... We'll have like 14 black hearts at our disposal. That's a lot of health. And the Circle of Protection will be an enormous help with the bullet hell. I mean, I sort of like. I don't like how. I don't like how the circle of protection. It's unpredictable, so you don't always know what it's going to do and how it's going to affect the projectiles. But all right, this is it. This is what it's all been leading up to. This is the gold medal sprint pro gamer game Olympics ultra mega. I've actually been like, you know how we were discussing double sports before, like chess boxing. I've actually been all right, fuck it, let's go. Let's do it, witness. Let's do it. All right, that's shit. All right. All right. All right. You got me. You got me with the first one. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. She had us in the first half, and possibly the second half. But oh, I wish we had more speed. Circle of protection is helping a lot. Ooh, that was close. Alright, but we've almost gotten through this phase. Almost. Oh, don't you dare, young lady. Shit. Alright, we've lost a bunch of health, but oh, actually we need to use up the Satanic Bible. See, I don't normally like. Oh god. Whoa. Okay. Just need to keep strafing. Find the gaps. Alright, that was good. Hit us with the next one. Come on, hit us with the next one. Swing batter. Okay, that's good. Just a few more of these. Actually, I should be trying to get those tears in the circle of protection so that I can turn them against her, shouldn't I? Alright, so she's gonna lunge to one of the sides. Oh, she didn't lunge to one of the sides. See, I still haven't quite gotten the patterns down with this lady. But we'll get there. So yeah, I should get the tears. Oh, there it is. Fuck. I should get the tears in the circle of protection to get a little bit more damage against her. So we actually want to be close to the tears, just not hit by them. Oh, scheiße. No. See, a bit more speed would make a big difference. Alright, we've lost a lot of health. I'd say it's about even Stevens. Like, she's on about half health, we're on about half health. Neck and neck, as they say in Tokyo. Whoa, here we go. Alright, we're doing this now. Shit. Oh, no. We was cornered. Oh, this is really close. Alright. Full gamer focus. Oh, shit. That was close. Alright, I think we got her. We got her. Yeah, hey! Holy shit, well done, team. Achievement unlocked, Eternal D6. We have just defeated the Witness as the Blue Baby, and that was real close. Holy moly shimoly, that was close. And we didn't even use the Nord Leaf. If we were about to lose, I was going to use the Nord Leaf. Oh, actually, yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing. This little spider buddy, this spider familiar, occasionally does tiny amounts of damage. So, technically speaking, if we were about to die, I could have just stood in the middle of the room, invincible, and let that spider walk around, slowly chipping away at her health until it won. Which is obviously, you know, not the coolest way to do it. But, we did it. Damn, that was close. That was difficult. But we did it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Ultrift X Games. We will be playing more Binding of Isaac in future. We will be playing more Dark Souls in future. Make sure you smash that like button. Just like we almost got smashed by the Witness. Phrasing. I'm pretty happy with that. Because like we didn't get any super overpowered items. Like all the health generation with the Satanic Bible and the battery items was an enormous help. We didn't have a lot of DPS, so we really had to do a bit of dodging in the boss fight. One of the things that I don't love about Repentance is that Isaac, we hear Isaac speaking in the cutscenes for the first time ever. And I don't love that, personally, because I like, like, I mean, it's sort of like a truism of video game design that, often characters have no voice so that you can sort of imagine them with your own voice, Most games are about putting yourself in the place of the player character. It's why Ash Ketchum is not all that talkative, in the Pokemon games. So I don't love that they gave Isaac a voice, honestly. But most other parts of the storytelling and the cutscenes I enjoy. Alright, thanks everyone. We're going to wrap it up now. We've unlocked the Eternal D6, and maybe we'll use it in the next one. See you next time. Cheers.